Hi, folks. Welcome back to Heard It on the Axe, the special metal extravaganza show. We're joined on the phone by Alex Webster from Cannibal Corpse. Alex, are you there?
Yep, I'm still here.
All right, we lost you there for a second. You're driving, right? You're in a tour bus right now.
Yeah, we're in Madison, Wisconsin today, and I'm in the back of a tour bus. We're not driving, but I am on a cell phone. I didn't have access to a landline today, so
that's all right.
The connection's a little shaky, I guess.
We appreciate you just taking the time to talk to us, and we want to remind everybody, Wednesday, November 17th at Club Infinity, Cannibal Corpse comes home. Show starts at when?
7 o'clock.
7
o'clock.
7 p.m.
I know I'm rallying my crew of zombies together. We're a little older now, so we're going to go out for fine cigars, some cocktails, a nice steak, and then an evening of death.
Go to the chiropractor before.
Get loosened up. Yeah. I was looking at some videos online. There's that new wall of death thing. The mosh pit is kind of like old school. They now all run at each other and smash into each other. I'm like, yeah, I won't be doing that.
How is it aging in this type of music? I mean, is it what is your take on it now? Are you any thoughts on that at all?
Yeah, I mean, physically, it's hard on my neck.
Oh, yeah.
But beyond that, we're still having as much fun as we ever did. Really, we still love this kind of music. It's still a lot of fun. The weird thing about it is that sometimes we'll wind up being on tour with a band that are literally like 15 years younger than us.
Yeah,
where that wasn't possible in the beginning, because it was a new kind of music. But there's now death metal's been around for 25 years or so, and you can you see that it spans a larger age group. We have fans from 15 to 50, where in the beginning of the band it was maybe 15 to 25 or something like that.
Well, yeah, you've become the elder statesman of the movement, which is a natural attrition of things. But, when you get to the other end of it, it's like, wow, you got to look back and it's no different than, bands like the Stones or other bands that are leaders of what they've done in their own particular genre. They look back and they realize, wow, our original fans are bringing their kids,
Yep, that actually happens to us. We'll meet a father, and he'll be like, "Yeah, here's my son. He's 17. We both listen to you guys." So it's really something we never thought that would happen, because back when we started, death metal had only been around for maybe 5 years at the most. We started the band in '88. First death metal record maybe was Possessed, Seven Churches. I think that came out in 1983. So back then, we couldn't have even imagined having a 20-plus year career, let alone having fans that come show up with their sons. Having 2 full generations into this kind of music is pretty incredible, and we never expected that to happen.
It's funny that you asked that, because I have 3 boys at home right now. My wife not only does not appreciate my taste in music, but she does not appreciate the video games that I let the kids play. But it proved a great point. We've got The Walking Dead, a comic book adaptation TV show on right now. Comic books are huge now. I know that Vincent Locke does your album covers, or at least was doing almost all of them for a while there. Huge comic book guy. My kids are into comic books. They're not into sports and stuff like that. They're into comic books. They're into video games. I had to wait in line for 45 minutes in the middle of suburbia to get them the new Call of Duty game, not because of the video game, because of the Nazi zombie game at the end of the video game. Do you think that this is becoming a little bit more mainstream, that the old extreme from when we were younger is not so much extreme anymore, that it's I hate to say the word, but becoming somewhat mainstream, do you think, or no?
I would say that definitely the content of our lyrics, the real graphic horror and graphically violent horror, that's actually more mainstream than our music. And here's why I think that. Because if you look, those movies like Saw, you have Saw, Hostel, movies like that are,
sure,
really graphically violent. Those movies are really popular and sell, they do millions of dollars of business. And then you've got, violent video games that do a whole lot of business as well. But death metal bands aren't really that big. So I think, if anything, our lyrics, as, unlikely as that might seem, our lyrics are they're more mainstream than the music is.
It's interesting. That's very interesting.
Hello?
Are you there, Alex?
You gotta be kidding me.
We keep losing.
Are you there, buddy?
It looks like we lost Alex Webster again. we lost Alex Webster again from Cannibal Corpse. We keep in and out because of the cell phone reception.
Yeah, he's probably pacing in the bus. He's probably a phone pacer. Are you a phone pacer? I am.
I'm totally a
phone pacer. I pace all over the place, and when you're on a cell phone, it's like, what the heck? I can't hear. So.
That's what his whole diet consists of. Just him talking on the phone.
Yeah, I'm pacing. I'm on the pacing diet. It is unfortunate that we lost him again. I don't know if Matt can get him back on the phone one last time. I would like to be able to say goodbye, but we are running out of time here. And it was a great time, though, you know?
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Let's give Alex one more shot.
You want to give a shot? Sure.
Alex, are you there, buddy?
Nah, it looks like we lost him.
It looks like we lost him.
That's too bad. But
we do want to remind everybody, once again, we touched on it a little bit, but this is a movement. Buffalo's been a major player in a lot of music, and we talked about it in the 50s, in the 60s, in the 70s. Major players from here that have gone and been studio musicians for Elvis, studio musicians for Ray Charles, studio musicians for this guy, that guy, the other guy. This is a movement, a musical movement that was actually started here, 25 years old, and the biggest player in the game came from Buffalo.
Absolutely. One of the longest standing players of the game. I really wish we could have kept Alex on the line because I truly, he's a very modest guy. They've always been that way. They always hang out with the fans. That's the big thing about the death metal scene. They have 12 tour buses in front of the place where the show is, but you know what? You won't see them backstage. They'll be out hanging out with the fans, having a glass of water, not beer, not doing shots. The hair metal days are long gone. These guys are very reserved, very, very mellow guys, and they want to share the experience. Chris was wonderful in sharing that experience with us because that's the vibe you get as a fan when you go to the show. They're not some removed piece of art to be appreciated. They're there with you, taking from you, and sharing their life experience with you, which is wonderful. The other wonderful thing too about Buffalo, not only the music scene, but think about it as well as what we've shared with all of our great chefs. So many of the country's great chefs have started off here in Buffalo and either moved to New York, to Chicago, have moved around. I think part of the thing with great bands like Malevolent Creation, who also left the area, Cannibal Corpse, who left the area, a lot of the great chefs and restaurateurs and people who have left the area and find themselves coming back is they just have to create a better opportunity for themselves. The big things are happening in other cities, so they're going there. But what I find funny is with a lot of these bands and a lot of the chefs and restaurants is they end up coming back because this is our hometown. This is where we make our living. We found a way to fight through the cold winters and get it done, and they do end up coming back and sharing that with us.
Well, and speaking of Chris's story about Alex, I think one of the things, probably more than likely, especially with Cannibal Corpse and with a lot of things, I think there's a level of reality when you come from Buffalo.
Sure.
There's
grounded.
Exactly. That's a great word. Grounded. You're not a superstar. You're just Alex from Buffalo.
Yeah, you're the guy that has to shovel the snow.
And actually, we all know people in different walks of life who have achieved a certain level of status and might act a little, high to do or whatever.
Sure.
And those people stand out like a sore thumb.
Absolutely.
I mean, and you tend to shy away from them when you're from Western New York because you're not very real.
Yeah.
And maybe that's what's carried over, and that's why Alex still does what he does, and not only enjoys the music that he's doing, but enjoys hanging with the fans, like you said, because he's real. A lot of these bands are real. The other thing that I would love to talk to him about, maybe we'll get him on again. I'd love to know. Basically, music has become underground. Period. I mean, all the serious movements of music are underground, and really all. Popular music has always sucked. Let's call a spade a spade.
Okay,
I mean,
I'm with you on that. Sure.
It always has. I mean, when Little Richard was recording Tutti Frutti and stuff like that, Pat Boone was the one who was charting with it. Yeah. So, pop music has always had its place, and there's been certain times where interesting things have happened in pop music, but really, underground has always been it. I'd love to know how you keep something going for 25 years completely underground.
Completely underground. Absolutely completely underground. And the thing that I find fascinating is a lot of these guys, which I can share briefly, is a band like Cannibal Corpse will play in a small club right down the street from where we broadcast here in Western New York. They will play a small club here. They will go to Europe and play to 70,000. Right? Yeah, they'll play a stadium. Yeah. They will absolutely play a stadium of writhing, frothing demons losing their mind to this style of music. So it's really, maybe their money's made in Europe, maybe it's made here. All I know one thing is, I can't tell you how much I appreciate you sharing half your show with me. This has been an amazing, amazing time. Thanks for letting me share my passion with you.
It's been an honor, and thank you.
I owe you a dinner for sure.
Oh my
regular crew, the heck with them.
Yeah, you'll cook for him.
I'm not cooking for any of you, but this guy here, I owe him a dinner, man.
We want to remind everybody too. I want to thank Chef Binks. Go to chefbinks.com and you can continue to see the streaming of the show. I want to remind everybody Wednesday, November 17th at Club Infinity, Cannibal Corpse is coming home.